Welcome to Off the Top, presented by Wrestling Fans Discord. Here's your hosts, Skull, J-Train, and Shadow!
Hey guys, Scows here with J-Train and Shadow. Say what's up.
Go ahead,
How's
guys.
it going?
All right. So today we're going to be doing a quick review of the NXT Vengeance Day pay-per-view, and then we're going to give our predictions for the Elimination Chamber that takes place tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on the WWE Network.
$9.99, by the way.
Now what?
$9.99, by the way.
Gotta get that $9.99 plug.
All right, so let's get into this thing.
So I just want to remind you guys that we do have a Discord server as well. It is the Wrestling Fans Discord. I am the server owner. Jared and Shadow are two of my admins on the server. We have a friendly, enjoyable place where everybody's opinions are welcome. We don't berate or attack our members for their different opinions, whether it's with WWE, AEW, or any brand. We welcome everybody. We just have a fun environment that we just love to talk about wrestling.
I do add though, don't come in acting like you own the server though. That'll get you booted.
Yeah, we definitely we had one of those today.
That will get you booted quicker than the Goldberg match.
Oh boy.
So this past Sunday we had the NXT Vengeance Day pay-per-view. It actually probably was the best pay-per-view that I have seen this year so far out of any wrestling company. And I don't know what... There really wasn't even any matches that could even compare to what happened on this show. What are your thoughts, Jared?
I honestly thought that this was one of the better takeovers ever since NXT started. This was probably a top 5 pay-per-view for me for the NXT. All the matches were watchable. They were like intense, and then I loved every second of them, and that's rarely happened.
Yeah, I think the match of the night for me had to be Gargano versus Kushida. It was such a technical match that it was something that you love to see week in and week out. It's something that I wish we could see more of, but when they do come up, it's one of those matches that you just can't miss.
Yeah, you can't put down. Yep. My personal favorite was the men's Dusty Cup final, mainly because I'm a mark for MSK. I love them. I love them since they were in TNA. So
they are so fun to watch. Like they just keep surprising you with their innovativeness and everything that they could do within the ring.
And they're so young too. Which is the best part, is that they've got so much untapped potential. That's just their standing point. They could get so much better.
So, one of the matches that happened on Sunday was the Women's Dusty Cup inaugural final. It was to crown the first ever Dusty Cup winner. We ended up with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez as being the first ever champions, and I don't know. As much as I wanted Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart to win, because I am a Shotzi mark, I feel this was the right call.
Yep. Dakota Kai and Raquel both have heat on them, and they've been doing really good as of late. So it makes sense to pull the trigger on them rather than Shotzi and Ember.
I don't even know if it's necessarily because of the heat that they're getting or everything. I think there actually could be a viable threat to the champ, whether it is Jaxler, Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler, or anybody else that can take it off of them.
My question is though, who's the heel in that match?
If you watched this past week's NXT, the way that it was set up, Shayna and Nia Jax are the heels, and Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez would be the faces.
Or are they doing it as they're the underdogs?
Yeah, they had
There's no heel face, it would just be underdog heel.
Right. They had the presentation of the trophies, and honestly, that was probably one of the funniest segments that I've watched on WWE TV in a long time. The way MSK was in the corner with Beth Phoenix holding a tub of popcorn was just hilarious.
Unfortunately, up here in Canada, we don't get NXTs on Saturday or Wednesdays. We get them Fridays, and I keep forgetting that's before SmackDown, so I never got a chance to check it out.
Did you see that, Jared?
No, I did not. I didn't get a chance to watch NXT this week.
Oh, NXT was pretty good as well. They continued what happened in later on in the show. We'll discuss. They continued that storyline. In the next match, we had the Men's Dusty's Cup, which was MSK versus the Grizzled Young Veterans, and this was just a banger from the start. Grizzled Young
Yep.
Veterans are such a good team, and they just had great chemistry with MSK. It was just a fun match to watch from start to finish.
And GYV honestly doesn't even need a Dusty Cup to solidify themselves as a solid tag team, because they already done that without even having a trophy. Like
Oh.
I was looking through and I was like, they seem like I know who they are, but
100,
I was just watching their
100%
match.
they did that.
Yeah. And I could just watch their match and I'll just be like, holy crap, these kids can go at it.
Yeah, it was such a good match. We ended up with MSK winning the Dusty Cup, so that's such a great way for them to come into NXT. They came over from Impact when their contracts expired over there, and everybody wanted all three of them, including Trey Miguel, to come over, but only two of them came over, and they just have taken off. They have used the momentum and taken off as soon as they got there.
Yep, and just for those who are aware of the Rascals from Impact, Trey Miguel is currently in the X Division title picture as well over there.
The next match that we're going to discuss is going to be the Johnny Gargano and Kushida match, and unbelievable. To me, this was a 5-star match through and through. And if you have not watched the pay-per-view yet, I don't care if you don't watch anything else, this match you need to see. It just
Honestly,
it just was so
it
was so good. Like, it's so technical, so many high flying moves from Kushida, and he just, like, when you thought he was down and out, he would just find a way to turn it around and put it on Gargano.
such a good match. Do we have the star rankings on that one yet, or those been released?
I have not seen them, but that, to me, that was definitely a 5-star match, like, no doubt.
Was it better than Cole Gargano?
I mean, that was the match of the year so far for this year.
Okay, but in terms of takeover matches, would it trump the Cole and Gargano match?
I don't think.
I don't know.
Anything
It all depends
could
which
beat
Cole and
the
Gargano
Cole and
match you're
Gargano
talking
match.
about.
I think okay. Cole Gargano Toronto takeover Toronto.
I don't know.
Where they both went off the top with the cage.
I don't know if it would trump that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. I didn't like I said, like we discussed previously, I didn't get a chance to watch Takeover all that through, so I apologize, guys, for my lack of talking. I just didn't get a chance to watch it. Busy life. So.
And then we had the women's triple threat for the NXT title, which was Io Shirai, Mercedes Martinez, and Toni Storm. I was surprised by the outcome of this one. I thought that Toni Storm was going to come out on top on this one and get us a new champion, but Io Shirai held through and held on to that belt. What were your thoughts on the match, Jared?
I liked it through and through. I was personally rooting for Toni Storm mainly because I had her winning, because I thought it was her time. But there was a bunch of good spots that especially when Shirai climbed up the top of the scaffolding too, really surprised me. But honestly, it's Io Shirai though, so she definitely isn't opposed to taking risks. But considering that it was only a triple threat, I was actually surprised about the spot.
Yeah, there was a botch in the match, and I think that caused the match to not go as long as it was intended to. The announcer's table broke when it wasn't supposed to, so I think they got a little flustered and uneasy with everything after that. So I think
Yeah,
they didn't get enough time
tried
that
to
they were
improvise.
supposed to have, but it still was a good match overall. Probably was the weakest match on the card, but it still was a top tier match.
No, yeah,
You-
I definitely think that was at least a 3.75, maybe 4 tops.
With that being said, do we think that Shirai can chase Asuka for the longest women's champion?
She could, but I don't think it will happen.
I don't think so. Um, there's just too many contenders right now for the belt. When Asuka had it,
Oh,
they
that's true because when Asuka had it, Flair was gone, Becky was gone, Banks was gone, Bailey was down there, but it was just Asuka and Bailey really as the top down there, right?
yeah, it was Asuka really had her run of the division. Um, but right now the women's division is so stacked that I don't see anybody contending with that record right now.
Well, I guess we wait and see, right?
And then we come to the main event of the night. We had Finn Balor versus Pete Dunne, and I don't know how Finn Balor is walking, honestly. The amount of pain that he must be in from what Pete Dunne did to him is just unbelievable.
Granted, it's almost all fake, but like I was, I actually did a little test on myself during this match, and I bent my fingers back, and it really hurt.
Yeah. Oh, that's a smart move.
So, well, I was thinking about it. I was like, huh, I wonder if this really hurts or not. So, I bent my fingers back, and I was just like, I don't know how he can do this. I don't want this.
Yeah. It definitely would hurt. Yeah. It definitely.
But that's all Pete Dunne is, though. Is he's a bunch of joint manipulation. So I mean, if you can make it look real, then you can know how to keep people safe, which is good.
Yeah,
But
that's for sure. What about Mr. Cole coming in at the end of that match?
so at the end of the match, after Finn Balor had won, you had Oney Lorcan and Birch come down and attack him, and then you had Undisputed Era come out to make the save. And you think everything is hunky dory, you think everything is fine, and then all of a sudden Adam Cole just kicks the teeth out of Finn Balor's mouth, and then you have Kyle O'Reilly getting all upset with it, and next thing you know, Adam Cole is attacking Kyle O'Reilly, and you have the beginning of a UE split, and it's just been a
Is
long
it
time coming, and it's so
is it
damn good.
is it really going to be a UE split, or is it going to be some tough love from Cole that he doesn't take anybody's crap?
No, I think it's going to be a UE split because if you watch this past week, there
I've seen highlights of the ending with Cole beating up Riley again.
and he didn't do anything to Strong. I mean, like
So
Strong wasn't immune to anything. Like it was, he just came out. He gave Riley a brainbuster, and Riley was taken away on a stretcher.
right, so out of the UE, you think it's going to be Cole Strong going forward, and then Fish and O'Reilly being still the tag team they are?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. Roddy's looking like he's torn right now because he like I looked at it after Vengeance Day, and he actually held back. Like he didn't walk out with Cole. He was just looking back. He was sitting in the ring. So honestly, my theory is that this could lead to Cole becoming
A singles
going up
push?
to Yeah, singles pushing going up to the main roster in the next 2 or 3 months.
The only thing that worries me about Cole going up to the main roster, we've seen it before with Keith Lee, we've seen it with Aleister Black. Cole is too good of a talent to ruin. He's done it all over the world, right? He's a top talent. There's no denying that.
He's only 31.
And he's the top talent. But if Vince has his way, he's gonna ruin him.
I don't know if he can ruin him.
That's the one thing that I don't think Vince will be able to do, because I know if Adam Cole gets ruined, Triple H is gonna be saying something to Vince.
Yeah, I think this is the one person that is almost immune to Vince and his ways of ruining talent when they come up.
Yep.
But that's just my feeling on it, and I think that Undisputed Era might still be together, and I think Cole is the only one that's leaving it.
Ooh, that's an interesting theory. Having Fish, O'Reilly, and Strong still together, that's not bad.
And they can go over with Balor. And
Balor, new leader of Undisputed Era.
Right.
Or is WWE trying to undercut what AEW is doing with the club?
Right.
Right.
That's right. They are doing that.
Yeah, but if you've actually watched any of that, you know that the people in New Japan don't even care. They're like the Bullet Club, the Too Sweet and the Forbidden Door. Like AEW is trying to trademark those, and people in New Japan are like, yeah, you can have it. That was like so old. That's so like 2 years ago. We don't care anymore.
Right, but in North America, it's still a thing, so they can cash in on it. As we've seen in our Discord, there's a couple marks for all that, right?
But we have a bunch in our Discord. It's okay. It's okay. Everybody likes what they like. We don't hold anything against anybody.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying, though, is that there's people that this is all still great to them.
Right.
New Japan has moved past it. They've grown past it because all the guys that were Bullet Club that were big have all come back to North America.
Yep.
So,
but I think we've touched everything basically of NXT TakeOver there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are there any final thoughts on NXT TakeOver or anything that happened this week?
Can't wait for the next one.
I just can't wait for NXT itself. Like, I love watching NXT on Wednesdays. It's so good. There's just so much going on, and like Cameron Grimes right now, he's just so funny.
Amazing.
And I don't know if you heard, I don't know if you know or not, but he actually won a lot of money through the stocks with AMC. With AMC and not GameStop, but he's won a lot. Like, he cashed in pretty big. So everything everything that's going on is still his character, but they just added that wrinkle to it because he wanted to.
Now it's starting to become a little bit of a JBL-esque type person with a little bit of redneck into it.
Right.
Ooh, speaking of JBL, if you guys haven't, you need to check out the APA documentary on the network. It's pretty good.
Yeah, WWE does a great job with all those documentaries. Like, it's so well put together.
Their documentaries are better than some of the pay-per-views sometimes.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
In my opinion, though. So
WWE should be giving us some money with all the plugs that we've been doing today.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, the other reason we're here is to talk about the Elimination Chamber. So, I'm not sure if everybody here is aware of what the Elimination Chamber is. It is a 60-ton structure that has 4 pods in the corners, and within time intervals, those 4 wrestlers would come out into the ring. 2 men start in, and then there could be up to 6 by the time all the pods are opened. If you think Hell in a Cell is brutal, wait till you see this match.
I have a question about that before we start going into the actual event.
Okay.
Do you think they're BSing us about the chamber weight and size?
No.
Or do you really think it's that demonic of a structure?
I think it's that demonic of a structure.
I mean, we can't tell until we actually go and see it one day in person, right? But I think they're BSing us a little bit because if you got 60 tons, how are you hanging that from a stadium roof?
It's
Reinforced cables. There's a bunch of ways you can do that.
it's just
Uh,
it's all steel and chains. Like, what do you think? What do you think those bars are made of?
don't get me wrong. I love the Elimination Chamber. It's one of my favorite matches. But I don't know. I still think I don't think it's as heavy as they say it is. That's all. I believe it's all real, but I don't think it's as heavy as they say it is.
Let's see what.
I mean, you guys see it one way. I see it another way. I'm not saying that it's not.
It's 16 tons, not 60.
Oh, 16. Okay, yeah. See, 60. That's why I was.
That's much more doable.
Okay, 16. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
16.
60.
Yeah.
Holy.
Like, they can get mixed up, so that's why I said that. But I just verified it, but it is 16 tons.
Okay. Okay. Well, then
Are we talking about the new chamber? Or are we talking about the old school chamber?
I actually looked it up. This is based off of the 2009 one.
Okay.
So the original had what? 16 miles of chain. It's like 16 miles of chain wrapped around it.
Yes, it was just so like that. That chamber was so much. It was all chain.
Can we all just appreciate Eric Bischoff for that? Like, that's a hell of a match.
Yep. Bischoff gave us a gift.
Bischoff gave us a lot of gifts. They just don't like to use them all.
Nope.
That's true. It's like that one.
I want the triple cage back.
From Ready to Rumble there.
That was
Yeah, I was just about to say that too. That's a good match. I wish that really came into. But if we're gonna, I do want to talk about one more thing here.
Okay.
The Matt Riddle wanting to bring the NXT match to the main roster. I can't remember the name of it now. It's one with all the scaffolding and stuff around the ring.
So that's the fight pit.
Yeah, the fight pit. He wants to bring it to the main roster to have a match with, I believe it's Lashley.
The problem with that is that fight pit is Timothy Thatcher's. Like, that's his type match.
That's his baby.
There's only been 2 of them. Thatcher's been in both of them, and he's won both.
Right.
So
I think it's a great idea, though.
If they were going to bring it there, I think they need to go to NXT to do it. Like, I think that match needs to stay on NXT. It's made for the Capitol Wrestling Center. It's made for that arena. Like, it's just the way that it's set up. It just fits there.
Right.
I think it would look a little weird on with the way that the Thunderdome is set up and everything.
Well, their tone's got to be coming down soon, anyways, does it not? It's baseball season's about to start sometime soon here.
Well, they're apparently going to be going back on the road at some point.
Right, because I believe WrestleMania is the re-welcoming of fans, isn't it?
It is. It is
to a capacity.
There will be roughly about 25% capacity there. Be roughly about 30,000 fans at each event.
Do you believe that going forward, I know that we're supposed to be talking about Elimination Chamber here, but going forward, that WrestleMania is going to remain a 2-night thing?
I don't think so. They already announced that the next 2 years are 1 night each. But I personally think they should keep it 2 nights because it just makes it so much better.
If they want to build the card for the many hours that they're doing it, it makes more sense to have it in 2 nights.
And then they make it like a Wrestle Kingdom event, like New Japan does. It's so much better. It makes everything bigger. They can get double the gate. It's like, it makes so much more sense to do 2 nights. But let's get into the Elimination Chamber. So we'll start off with the first match we're going to talk about. It's going to be the Women's Tag Team Championship match. This match was just added on last night on SmackDown, and we have Sasha Banks teaming up with her possible future opponent at WrestleMania, Bianca Belair, against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. What's your thoughts, Shadow?
Well, I really hate how WWE does this. They do it a lot where potential challengers are your partner. But I believe that Bianca and Banks feed off each other well, whether they're facing each other or they're teaming. The energy both just it's great. But it doesn't make sense for them to pick up the win and pick up the titles here. So I'm gonna go with Shayna and Nia to win. It's gonna be a great back and forth match as long as Nia, doesn't hurt her hold. Um, but
Oh,
I
speaking of
just
that, they mentioned that on NXT also. It was good.
oh that's great. I just it's that match to me. I don't think it's gonna be a real eye popper because they'll probably get about 12 to 15 minutes in that match, and I just don't think it's gonna go that long. Don't think it's gonna be that great overall. Um, I still not up to par with the Nia and Baszler tag team. It just still makes no sense to me. But they're the champions for the second time, I believe. And Sasha and Bianca, they're both. Sasha is in the prime of right now of her career, I'd say, and Belair is just going to go on to be big things in WWE. I don't see why they need the tag team belts. Banks is already a 2-time champion. Bianca winning a tag title makes no sense.
All right, I could definitely see that. I can see that.
I
Jared?
honestly can see this match not being a good one, but also laying the framework for the future story for Banks and Bianca. I think that there's going to be something that goes wrong. Someone's going to not like what the other's doing, and then Bianca's gonna stress out over it, and then she's gonna the next night she's gonna announce Banks as her WrestleMania opponent.
So you think Shayna and Nia are retaining?
Yep. There's really no Shadow said that there's really no point of her having Banks and Bianca with the tag titles.
I could definitely see it both ways. But the only
The whole
way. Hmm?
the whole women's division of tag teams right now, it doesn't make sense. There's too many thrown together teams. I don't I don't know. I just think it's sloppy on WWE's part. Why break up the Riot Squad? I mean, they're back together now. Why'd you break up the iconic? I don't understand the thought process creative on it.
Okay. So I think that WWE has done very well with NXT with putting together some more tag teams in regards with the Dusty Cup, where they put Shotzi and Ember together. I think that was one of probably the best teams in the tournament next
That
to Dakota Kai
that's a
and Raquel
natural
Gonzalez.
tournament, natural tag team. It seems like Shotzi and Moon.
And then same goes for Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez.
Right, those 4 women, they make good tag teams. That makes sense. But we're talking WWE. NXT in itself does way better than the main roster half the time with proper product. We know this,
Yes, but you have to remember
right?
the women's tag teams can go through all the brands. It's not
Right,
just
but how
limited.
often have we seen the tag team go down? No, I think I've seen it twice. It's just I don't know. I apologize for ranting about it. I just don't understand it. What is your thoughts on the match,
But
Scott?
that's what I'm saying. Like you didn't watch this Wednesday where they made it a focus of the women's division for the tag teams. They made
My apologies.
Nia Jax and Shayna went to NXT on Wednesday, and then they were there again on Friday at SmackDown. And you have Tamina and Natalia teaming up as well, and they're building them to be a strong tag team contenders as well. So they are starting to make
We're starting to realize now.
they're starting to make a focus on better teams. So I can
Okay.
see them changing things going forward. Yes. Has that been the way that the tag team division has been since they decided to do it? Absolutely. but I think they started realizing that they actually have something with these belts, and they want to start making them mean something. That's why I don't think Sasha, and Bianca will win the belts now, because all that it would be used for, if they do, is to drive a wedge between them to set up the match at Mania. And that's not what they need to do with the belts right now. They need to keep the belts on Nia and Shayna and build credible opponents for them to make the division stronger.
Fair enough. I apologize.
It's fine.
So, what is your thoughts on this Sunday's matchup with the tag team division here?
I just gave it.
I thought you were just ranting on about how the. My bad. I thought you were ranting on about how the.
I tied it all in together.
Okay, well.
The day that Scales doesn't rant is the day that hell freezes over.
Well, now I feel dumb, so thanks for that one.
It's okay, Shadow. We still love you.
I apologize. I was reading something about wrestling, so.
No worries, no worries. So the next match that we're going to discuss is going to be the triple threat for the United States Championship. As of now, this match is still a triple threat, but I know that there are rumors and stories going around that Keith Lee may be removed from it, and it might become just a one-on-one for the title. But we're going with what is written as of now. If things change, unfortunately, we can't control that. The card is subject to change. So let's have Jared start this one off.
So first things first, the fact that Vince McMahon is not bought in to Keith Lee is just appalling. Dude's got it all. He's big, yes, but he's also athletic. He can do most things that most cruiserweights couldn't even do. And the fact that Vince just keeps putting him down and down just like shows us like how stupid Vince is. He's got so much talent there, and Keith Lee is just a prime example too. Like he should have at least been in the main, like the upper mid card picture already, but he's still stuck at the bottom for no reason. Like he did great against Drew McIntyre. He did wonders against Bobby Lashley. He did wonders against Matt Riddle. Like he's just got to get a chance, man. But other than that, I want Keith Lee to win this, but knowing that Vince doesn't like Keith Lee, it's Lashley's gonna retain. As much as I hate to say it.
So, I don't necessarily think that it has to do with Vince not liking Keith Lee, the decision of this match. I think it is more going to come down to the fact that Lashley right now is so hot and strong, being the way that he's portrayed. I don't think it makes sense for him to lose this belt right now. The way that he manhandled them on Monday, it's just building him up so much right now that if you take the belt off of him, even though it's a triple threat match, I think it's just going to bring him down, and it's going to ruin everything that has been done so far.
See, I don't think Bobby Lashley needs a title to be, like, to say, oh, he's a dominant guy. Like, he's got hardware, and, like, he's all powerful. He's got killer instinct. Like, no, you don't. But that Bobby Lashley is one of those dudes that doesn't need a title. Like, he can literally manhandle people and just be like, this is what I do. Like, I honestly don't think the Hurt Business needs any titles.
I disagree. I think Lashley needs a title to make Lashley right now. We've seen him in the past when he doesn't have a title. Well, he doesn't seem too interesting, but he brings a lot of legitimacy to the U.S. belt.
How so?
That belt has gained so much momentum with him being there and holding the belt.
Yeah,
it's just
the ugly design of it, like, too. It just makes it even better somehow.
There's nothing wrong with the design. The only thing that's missing on the design is that they should put blue behind the stars. That's it. Otherwise, it is a top-notch belt, in my opinion.
Why can't we have a Canadian belt? Why does that have to be all U.S.? Like, come on.
Because Canada doesn't matter.
Whoa! Still out there,
Because
bud.
it's a U.S.-based company.
The winner of this year's Royal Rumble. Where's he from again? Oh, right,
No,
Canada.
I didn't say that. They used to have a European championship, but they got rid of that too.
Yeah, but they didn't they. What do you call it?
I mean, that was also with I think.
What did they unify it with? The Intercontinental?
I thought it was.
Did they unify
I
that
thought it
one?
was the U.S. and the European. I thought they put those together.
Is that the ones they unified? I don't know. I'll have to go back on the WWE network and check it out.
And they do have a Canadian belt, by the way. It's called the North American Championship.
That is very true.
It still has the American in it.
Because the whole continent is called North America.
Listen, if we could figure a way to cut away from you guys, I'm sure we would.
Please go. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
We'll survive. You guys won't.
I don't
You
know.
need our oil.
You have Trudeau.
You need our oil. I mean, you had Trump, so
and we're still going.
And now Biden. So we'll see.
All right,
but this isn't political stuff, guys. Anyways, I really want to see Matt Riddle win tomorrow because I believe he deserves a little momentum. But like with a belt, like he has momentum with him because he's a good babyface, right? But I don't see Keith Lee participating in the match tomorrow because there's a lot of rumors, speculations, right? But I have a hard time believing that Lashley's going to lose, even in a triple threat. So overall, I believe that Lashley's going to walk out champion. If Lee is there, it's going to be a great match. I'm going to say it'd be about a 4.5 match of the night because those three in the ring, they bring three different elements, right? You got the powerhouse in Lashley. You have Keith Lee that can do everything anybody, like small guys, can do, plus big guys. So that's just a crazy element in its own. And then you have Riddle, who's just a manic all over the ring. Like, so at the end of the day, it's like it's going to be tough to choose a winner. But if you have a brain, you're going to say, well, Lashley's walking out. He has too much momentum with that. But if you're up for the smaller guys, you're going to want Riddle. But if you're a big Lee fan or just a guy that you just want something new, you're going to want to see Keith Lee win.
Yeah, I agree. And I love Riddle so much. Mainly because he relates to a good portion of the WWE universe as the laid back stoner, like that he just wants to chill out and have fun.
It's just a good combination between these three. Like they just make such a good combination. This match.
So where did I cut out? Because apparently my microphone decided to.
I don't even think you were talking at all, so it was fine.
Fun. I went on a whole rant. Cool.
You went on a whole rant? You weren't even. Jared was talking, but your mic cut out.
Boy, I went on a whole rant about Lashley and Lee, and oh, good.
No, we heard all that.
No, I continued, and then I realized there was dead silence. So that's okay. That's okay.
So I think Lashley is going to retain the belt here, whether it's just a one-on-one or a triple threat. I don't foresee it being any different. Lashley needs the belt right now, and he helps bring prestige back to this belt. WWE has done such a good job over the last couple months about making the secondary belts such a focus and bringing some prestige back to them. I think probably this is the best all the belts have been probably in the last 3 to 4 years, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So let's continue
Indeed.
on. Let's continue on with the red brand. We're gonna go over to the Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship, which will see Drew McIntyre defending his belt inside the chamber against Sheamus, who enters at number at 6. He's the last one to come in. Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, and surprise entrant Kofi Kingston. Me personally, I think that Kofi's not going to make it to the chamber. I think something is going to happen. I think Ali is going to take his spot, and it's going to be similar to what happened with Kofi 2 years ago. How Kofi replaced Ali, but this time it's going to be Ali replacing Kofi.
So you think it's going to be Drew and Ali to end it?
I actually think it's going to be... I know Drew's probably going to win this, but what I want to happen is Ali and Randy Orton to be the last two. Because Randy Orton is the reason Ali was not in the match. And if they do that, they would just surprise the hell out of everybody with their long-term storyboarding. Because people would have forgotten about that and what happened. And then I think Randy Orton wins, and then The Fiend comes back and sets up the match at WrestleMania, the opposite of what happened when Bray lost his belt to Randy Orton at Mania. And everything comes full circle.
Oh, God. I forgot the thing.
I mean, I just had an orgasm listening to that, but I digress.
That first match that they had at WrestleMania was... Ugh. Stupid maggots on the ring.
I mean, yes, you might not have liked the concept of the match, but the match itself was pretty good, and Randy Orton should not have won that match.
No, he should not have.
Bray Wyatt should have kept the belt, and I think because, like Bray Wyatt always says, life is a circle. It's time to come full circle and fix the wrong that was done on that night.
Yeah. Just like he did for John Cena.
Right.
But I don't know. I honestly still don't think Bray Wyatt needs a belt to be relevant.
Bray Wyatt does. The Fiend doesn't.
Yeah, the Fiend doesn't. I mean, and honestly, I don't even think Bray Wyatt does either. I mean, I still find everything that he does amazing with or without the belt. I mean, yeah, it makes it a little bit better with the belt, but...
Well, it's definitely no secret that I'm a huge Wyatt Fiend fan.
Yeah.
I'm always wanting him to win. Like, whatever it is, I want him to win. I like Scalise' idea. I just don't think it's going to be the Fiend yet. I think it's going to be Alexa that costs it. That cost over the final. They'll make it to the final too, but I think Alexa's going to do something.
You think she's going to help him win it?
She might. She very well might, because, I mean, Bray's been off TV for what, 2 months now, just about, if not just over.
That's because of his kid, right?
No. Well,
no. He asked for time off after the match.
It's because he was burned to death.
He had previously asked for time off, right? And then apparently the finish of the burning had nothing to do with the time off. And then Brody passed away. I think he's taking some extra time to mourn the loss of Brody Lee. That's why I don't think we're gonna see Fiend until at least it's just gonna be like a surprise WrestleMania match. Have the crowd there for the Fiend back and everything.
I don't know if they wait that long.
Can we?
He's been completely shut off of Twitter too. He hasn't posted anything since the 20th of December.
Well, he's dead. Come on, man.
Yeah,
He's one of the few people that keep kayfabe alive.
He made his little tweet to Brody, or his Instagram post to Brody, and that's the last anybody heard of him.
Yep.
But the match. Sorry, we got off topic there. The match at the Chamber I think the final two is going to be Orton and Sheamus. I don't think Drew's leaving as the champion.
I don't know.
Because either way, right now, let's say Orton wins, we already know what the next feud is going to be. We say Sheamus wins, it sets up a really good story with him and McIntyre.
Yeah.
Right? Either way, because right now, I mean, it's pretty much everywhere. There's no direction for Drew McIntyre heading to Mania.
I don't know. I'd like to see Drew McIntyre have the title for 11 out of the 12 months since he got it at WrestleMania. But I could definitely see the logic in there. Like WWE just trying to delay it even more so that Drew McIntyre could get a standing ovation for when he shows up with the title.
So, what they could do if Orton doesn't win, they don't go that way, is Drew can either lose here and then face Sheamus at Fastlane to get the belt back, or he wins here, loses to Sheamus at Fastlane, and then recaptures it at Mania in front of everybody.
I could see that because WWE and Drew was upset that he didn't get that big pop he deserved last Mania, right?
Right.
Or because Brock is supposed to be coming back at some point, Brock could be coming back and challenging him at Mania and give the crowd that match from last year all over again.
I don't think Brock will challenge him because Brock wants to come back and he wants to put people over, and he already did that for Drew. He needs to do it for other people.
Fair enough.
So, anybody else have any more comments on that?
No, I think we've all kind of given our theories to what's going to happen, and has nothing to do with the other four competitors in the match.
It's going to be one of three people. It's going to be Sheamus, Drew, or Orton. Those are the only three that even have the chance of winning.
The only three irrelevant.
Jeff Hardy, there to be a filler.
No, Jeff Hardy's there to be the high flyer doing the crazy stunts. Same as
Yep.
Kofi. But I still think Kofi's not going to make it. Retribution's going to attack him, and then Ali's going to take his spot. That's just...
Or Morrison's going to attack him.
I wonder...
oh, I forgot about that little wrinkle. The Miz can cash in.
Yes.
Yep.
But I don't think he does.
If Drew wins, I could see him cashing in. Because then you could have Drew take it from The Miz, or Sheamus take it from The Miz.
Oh, Miz would be a potential placeholder?
Right.
Okay.
Just to not waste the Money in the Bank.
Right.
Or if what you say is true about the Ali thing, they could have Ali win, and then Miz cashes in and keeps Ali's title reign to like a minute, 2 minutes.
True.
Because they've done that with Rey Mysterio before as well. So it's possible.
Oh, what you're saying is WWE. Your theory is WWE is going to rewash an angle.
Please, like they haven't done that many times.
I know it's quite sad when we can say, "Hey, this is from the '90s. This is from the early 2000s." Like, yeah, they need people like us writing the show. Okay,
make it a little unpredictable.
give me an hour in there, and I'll write up a good show.
We don't even need an hour. We could do it without it.
I'll just make cheerleaders up in there, and then the show will be great.
Oh, here we go. Some HLA again. All right. Okay. Anyways, what's next on the card here?
Next, we have 2 matches left. We have the second Elimination Chamber, which is going to put Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens versus Jey Uso, King Corbin, and Sami Zayn all vying for a shot at the Universal Championship against Roman Reigns, which will happen that same night.
So we got a twofer right here because those are the final two matches.
Correct.
Okay. Well, how about you start this one? Let's give your opinions on it.
So, my opinion. What do I want to happen, or what do I think will happen?
Let's go both. Let's
Okay.
hear them.
So they both can go together essentially. I kind of really want to see Jey Uso win just to see what would happen in the match. If they would actually fight again and tempt the breaking up of the tribal chief and his family and the followers, or if he would lay down and just give him the belt. But I think that Cesaro is going to come out on top on this. They have built him up so much in the last month, made him such a main contender again. And if you have not watched Talking Smack from last week, the promo he gave with Paul Heyman there was just unbelievable. I didn't watch Talking Smack today. I actually completely forgot about it because I just mentioned it from last week. But that is one of the must-see shows every week. They have so much. They have such great promo work on there. It builds everything so much, and people don't even realize it. Like something needs to happen every week on that show.
So it's like a new Sunday Night Heat type of thing.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not even wrestling. Like it's just promos, and it's just so good.
Well, if you remember the latter years of Heat, it became more of people cutting promos and stuff like that, right? It wasn't as much wrestling. The latter years of it, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of a, we're going to do a couple matches, but we're going to fill more time with, Austin chirping The Rock or something, It was always something like that. Big Nets, there was always something.
So, what do you think about this match?
What I think is Cesaro's going to come out. I agree with you. But I also kind of want Owens because I just love watching Owens and Reigns fight it out. It's just a good match in general all the time. But what I want to see happen is the Messiah take out Cesaro before the match.
No.
And enter the match.
No.
Yes.
For the
No.
greater good.
This is my what I want to see happen.
No.
I let you go on. I didn't say no to you.
I know, but
I want to see the Messiah take out everybody and fight Reigns
and you're gonna
for
have
the greater good.
You're gonna have heel versus heel.
Yes, because it would work with these two heels.
No, it wouldn't.
It would.
No.
I have my favorites, and I'm gonna go with what I want to see happen. Okay.
They need to team up more than they need to fight each other.
I don't want to see Shield 2.0. It wouldn't make any sense.
Shield 3.0?
Okay, 3.0, right. I forgot 2.0 was with Angle.
No.
I just want to see it happen. Okay? This is what I want to see happen. But I don't think...
I could see it happening eventually, but not now.
But that's just what I want to see happen. But I think Cesaro is going to win and face Reigns. Right? Like, or even Owens. It would be Owens or Cesaro that wins. Because they've killed the Daniel Bryan angle, but he's not going to do it. They exhausted that quickly.
We want to see Edge and Daniel Bryan. That'd be great.
I think what we could see happen at Fastlane is Edge versus Jey Uso.
Maybe.
Before him facing Roman at Mania.
Yeah, I can see it, but do we really want to see it? You know what I mean?
Why wouldn't you?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of either of the Usos.
He's been so good as a singles competitor. That's the other thing is I could see Jimmy coming back. He was supposed to come back earlier this year. So unless something happened,
Yeah, he was supposed to come back at the Royal Rumble. But
So what about, let's throw out a random theory. Uso wins the chamber, and like you were saying, faces Reigns. But Jimmy comes back and messes up that whole match, and Uso wins the belt.
I
I don't think it's gonna happen.
It's a
As much
crazy
as it would be
theory.
a neat,
It's a crazy theory, right? Like I'm not saying
yeah.
that's what I want to see happen. I'm not saying that's what I want to happen. I just, what if? In the different,
I just don't see it
I mean
happening at all. I don't
that
think
would be
that's
pretty sick. It'd
possible.
be pretty
I
sick.
mean, it would be.
it would be a huge swerve, and then it'd be a brutal beatdown at Fastlane.
Oh, it'd be reminiscent of what happened earlier.
No, over at Clash of Champions, etc.
Right.
Oh God, no, I don't want. That was a work of art, but I don't think it's going to be duplicated ever again.
No.
Because honestly, Jay and Roman have such a great chemistry together.
Right. I mean, they've been wrestling since they were children. Oh,
Yeah, it makes sense.
here's a plug, because we're talking about the Usos and Reigns. Check out Young Rock. It's a really good show. I watched the first episode. It's pretty good.
Is it what is it about? I haven't looked.
It's Dwayne the Rock Johnson running for president in the year 2032 or something, and they're going through his life, and they have different actors playing, like Andre the Giant, the Wild Samoans, Rocky Maivia. They got all these. It's a really good. It's a really good show. It's a good sitcom. I mean, I've only got one episode I've watched because it's just sample size, but it's a really good show. The lady that they have playing the Rock's mom really almost rivals what the actual Rock's mom looks like. It's crazy.
Oh wow. So essentially, what you're saying is it's well, at least with the story scheme that they're using on that, it's like the WWE 2K20 storyline where The Rock becomes the president.
Yeah, sort
Is
of.
he going to enter the Royal Rumble at number 31 too?
I don't know if you're a Big Bang Theory fan, but like the show Young Sheldon, it's kind of like that, but it's The Rock. So
Oh yeah, I've heard of Young Sheldon before.
yeah, it's something similar to that. So I guess now we talk about the whoever Reigns faces. Like it's hard to talk about this conversation because there's 5-6 people he can face.
Yeah, but I think you go in knowing that Reigns is gonna defend regardless, and he's gonna be going up against Edge at WrestleMania.
Yes, but I think it's still going to be a top-notch match.
Oh yeah, absolutely yes. It's not gonna be a squash.
It's not going to be any of the heels. So like, it's not going to be Sami Zayn or Corbin, even though Sami Zayn cut a great promo on Friday. I mean, based off of the promo, I wanted to see that match happen.
Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns could be a really, really good one. And that could just add to the quote-unquote conspiracy to Sami Zayn.
Oh, I really hope they release that documentary with all those videos.
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
Because
I think they're doing great with the Zayn stuff right now.
I don't think KO's winning again. I don't. As much as he had those great matches with him, and I know he never lost clean, this would not be another. This would be another way to not lose clean. Because he's already fought once in a chamber and got his ass kicked. Like, it doesn't make sense to have him do that. If he's gonna get one more shot, it needs to be clean, no interference, nothing. So this way, when he loses, Roman will be like, "This is it, everything, blah blah blah."
Well,
Done.
the thing is, how would they technically do that clean? Because initially, when they did a steel cage match on SmackDown, that was initially supposed to be clean. Like there's gonna be no outside interference, but once again, Jey Uso found a way to to impose himself in the match. So I don't know if there's essentially a clean way to do it kayfabe wise. I mean, obviously you can do it clean no matter what, but if you want to tell a story, then I don't think that there's a way you can do it clean.
Yeah, I know. It's just I wish they would have had that clean ending because it looks like that. The way they left it was that KO should have beaten him, but was screwed all the time. So you want to see him win against him. You don't want to see him win.
WWE is the definition of insanity. They'll keep redoing it until it works. So Owens probably will win.
I hope so. I mean, he really doesn't even need a belt. He's one of those guys that doesn't need a belt to make himself prominent. But it still would be nice to see some hardware on him after all the hard work that he's done. I mean, the last thing that he had was the Universal Championship. No, a major title at least.
Could you imagine him winning and Miz cashing in on him?
I could see it, and that would be a great rivalry going forward.
That'd be an amazing rivalry.
But Miz needs to make up his mind and cash in. Maybe Miz should go cash in on Balor, just for shits and giggles. I don't know.
I mean,
Dana Baszler?
That'd be pretty awesome.
Miz cashes in on Balor, not Baszler.
Imagine.
Miz go cash in on Asuka. I don't know. We just need something, Miz, to do something.
It's like, yeah, even though they would cash in on Asuka.
You want to talk about people that don't need a belt? Miz is one of them.
Yeah, no.
He's proved that for many years now.
On the mic. I mean, maybe the Intercontinental Championship, but not a major title.
Yeah.
He made the IC belt prominent when he had it.
He brought it back to relevancy, that's for sure. Especially with the absence of Brock from TV for however long he was Universal Champion.
Yeah, that was the go-to title every single night, which was the Intercontinental title. When Brock decided that, it was like, oh yeah, okay, I don't want to show up today. I'm going to show up 3 months from now.
That was like when Cena had the open challenge for the U.S. belt every week. He made that belt mean something.
Yeah, honestly, those as much as people as much as the wrestlers give it crap in script, is that it actually does make the title prominent. Like you look back every time that an Intercontinental title open challenge has been happening, that title's been prominent, especially with that Ziggler and Miz feud for it. And then when John Cena did the United States title match, it gave way to a bunch of new guys that normally would never have had a chance at the title.
Have you guys watched SmackDown from last night?
Yes,
No.
I just watched it today.
So you saw what happened with Big E.
Yep, where Apollo Crews just yeeted the stairs down on the Big E.
You sure you want me to drop it? You sure you want me to drop it?
Okay,
No. Okay, I'll drop it. Boom. It was so well done. Like the promo work and everything that they have done together is just unbelievable because they make it feel real. Like that promo last week that Big E cut is like, you're done. Go back to catering. Go sit back there and get paid.
Collect a paycheck.
And it was just so good. And then this week, so I don't think we're going to see an IC belt match tomorrow night. I think it's going to be set up for, I think there might be something at Fastlane where it's Big E versus somebody else, but I think Big E versus Apollo is going to culminate at WrestleMania. And I think that's going to be one of the main matches there. Big E has,
and that would be good because Apollo's definitely earned a lead, not a main event, but a WrestleMania match.
Apollo and Big E have both earned it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Big E's has had WrestleMania matches, but
as the New Day, he's never had a singles one.
Yeah, no, not a singles one. But Speaking of SmackDown, did we
I was
see
just gonna
the
bring up the promo with KO, Daniel Bryan, and Cesaro. Is that what you're referring to?
No, I was referring
Oh,
to the Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio
oh,
match.
the heel turn of the Alpha Academy.
Yep. I don't see Otis as a heel. I
Yeah,
just
but
don't.
I'm curious if they're doing that, and Jason Jordan's coming back. That's what I'm curious about. 'Cause I know they said he was working towards trying to get cleared.
That's right. He was rumored for the Royal Rumble.
So
But yeah.
that's something that I'm curious about with that. Um, but did you not see the promo when Cesaro and Daniel Bryan were saying that they couldn't trust him because of all the people that he's turned on in the ring?
Oh yeah, no, that was hilarious.
And then he's like, I seem to be forgetting one big name. You know, the person that does the lists.
Oh man,
And that was the first time you've actually heard
that was anything
AEW
referencing
anything
Chris
AEW referenced.
Jericho.
Now I understand Jericho's tweet. Okay. Okay.
What did Jericho
Now
say? I didn't see it.
there was like a little vignette or not big little video posted on Twitter, and I think I can look it up here. Pretty sure Jericho was like, "Really?"
Let's
Yeah.
see. Oh, he goes, "Hey, wait a minute."
Yeah. 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 Jericho posted on Twitter, hitting back at it with it. So it's great. It's great. Now I understand the tweet. So thank you for that.
It was so good. Like, it was just so well done. He does the list, and KO just starts laughing. Like, it's so funny because I don't even know if that was prepared. Like, if they were even supposed to do any of that.
I
But
don't think so because Vince has handed out some stern instructions about stop doing that on social media and stuff. So
well, it wasn't done on social media. It was done on TV.
right, but I'm just saying, like Vince has thrown down the gauntlet about it. Like he doesn't want people doing it, referencing them in any way. So I don't know. I still think that they're all working together. In the end, we'll see.
Well, if you've read articles that have come out today, Kenny Omega has said that he is willing to work with. Uh, he thinks that WWE and AEW will work together. They're willing to work with Triple H and everything. So
Right. I think eventually, I think we have to wait for the old man to kick the bucket before we see things like that
it's never gonna
develop.
happen. The guy is like he's like a tank. But I think that's everything for the pay per view tomorrow night. I know we have the pre-show starts at 6 p.m. The main show starts at 7. We have our predictions going in our Discord server. If you are interested in following on our Discord, we do have.
In wrestling related news, sorry, I just seen this on Twitter. Adam Edge Copeland was on Hockey Night in Canada's opening video tonight wearing the John Huber. You know what that means? T-shirt with the Leafs logo on it, the one that I own. So, if you're a hockey fan, Edge was on the opening video tonight.
I did see that.
Sorry to cut you off there. I just came across it, so I thought I would pass it along.
Yeah, I did see that. There's a bunch of people I follow that have retweeted it and put it out there. So it is very cool. It's great what they do. It's great how the community has come together for what happened with John Uber. It is a tragedy.
That shirt is sick, though. If you need it, Violent Gentlemen, they have it. Great. It's a cool shirt.
People are still mourning his loss to this day. But when we keep him in our memories, everybody wins.
Yes, sir. The guy that never got to fully live his potential.
But I think that's all. I think that's going to be all for this evening. Unless
Yeah,
there's anything else
I
that you
think
have
so.
to add. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in. You can follow me on Twitter, Scals_24. I have the Twitch, which is what you're watching on now, and then we also will be posting this on our YouTube channel. This way you can like and subscribe and see what else we come up with. All right. So we'll see you guys next time.
Later, eh?